Section 16 of the Life of Samuel Johnson, Volume 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Life of Samuel Johnson, Volume 1, by James Boswell. Section 16. The style of Johnson was, undoubtedly, much formed upon that of the great writers in the last century, Hooker, Bacon, Sanderson, Hockwell, and others, those giants, as they were characterized by a great personage, whose authority, were I to name him, would stamp a reverence on the opinion. We may with the utmost propriety apply to his learned style that passage of Horace, a part of which he has taken as the motto to his dictionary. Cum tabulus animum censorus summit honesti, audibit quaecumque param splendoris habebunt, et sine pondere erunt, et honore indiga ferentur, verba movere loco, quamvis in vita redsedunt, et versenter ad hoc intra penetrea vesta, obscurata diu populo bonus eruit, atque proferet in lusum specioso vocabularium, quae precis memorala calanobus aqua cethegis, nunc sidus informis premit, et deserta velestus, adsissit nova, quae genitor prodirexit usus, vehemens eliquidus, paroxysmilimus omni, fundum opus Latinium et bibit divile lingua. To so great a master of thinking, to one of such vast and various knowledge as Johnson, might have been allowed a liberal indulgence of that license which Horace claims in another place. Si forte necesse est, indicus monstrare recentibus abdita rerum, fingere cinctudus non exaudita cethegis, contigit daturbic licentia tumpta pedetur, et nova fitat nuper habebunt verba fidem si, Greco faunam cadunt, parsa detorta, quid autem Cecilio plautuc dabit Romanus, ademptum Virgilio verioque, ego cur, aquaria pausa, si possum invidior, cum lingua Catonis et ini, sermonium patrium didaverit, and nova rerum, nomina protulerit? Lisuit semperque licebit, signatum presente nota producere nomen. Yet Johnson assured me that he had not taken upon him to add more than 4 or 5 words to the English language, of his own formation, and he was very much offended at the general license, by no means modestly taken in his time, not only to coin new words, but to use many words and senses quite different from their established meaning, and those frequently very fantastical. Sir Thomas Browne, whose Life Johnson wrote, was remarkably fond of Anglo-Latin diction, and to his example we are to ascribe Johnson's sometimes indulging himself in this kind of phraseology. Johnson's comprehension of mind was the mould for his language. Had his conceptions been narrower, his expression would have been easier. His sentences have a dignified march, and it is certain that his example has given a general elevation to the language of his country, for many of our best writers have approached very near to him, and, from the influence which he has had upon our composition, scarcely anything is written now that is not better expressed than was usual before he appeared to lead the national taste. This circumstance, the truth of which must strike every critical reader, has been so happily enforced by Mr. Courtenay in his moral and literary character of Dr. Johnson, that I cannot prevail on myself to withhold it, notwithstanding his, perhaps, too great partiality for one of his friends. By nature's gifts ordained mankind to rule, he, like a Titian, formed his brilliant school, and taught congenial spirits to excel, while from his lips impressive wisdom fell. Our boasted goldsmith felt the sovereign sway, from him derived the sweet yet nervous lay. To fame's proud cliff he bade our Raphael rise, hence Reynolds' pen with Reynolds' pencil vies. With Johnson's flame melodious Burney glows, while the grand strain in smoother cadence flows. And you, Malone, to critique learning dear, correct and elegant, refined through clear, by studying him acquired that classic taste, which high in Shakespeare's fane thy statue placed. Near Johnson's Stephen stands, on scenic ground, acute, laborious, fertile, and profound. Ingenious Hawkesworth to this school we owe, and scarce the pupil from the tutor know. Here early parts accomplished Jones sublimes, and science blends with Asia's lofty rhymes. Harmonious Jones, who in his splendid strains sings Camdeo's sports on Agra's flowery plains. In Hindu fictions, while we fondly trace Love and the Muses decked with Attic grace, amid these names can Boswell be forgot, scarce by North Britons now esteemed a Scot? Who, to the sage devoted from his youth, imbibed from him the sacred love of truth, the keen research, the exercise of mind, and that best art, the art to know mankind. Nor was his energy confined alone to friends around his philosophic throne. Its influence wide improved our lettered isle, and lucid vigour marked the general style, as Nile's proud waves, swoln from their oozy bed, first o'er the neighbouring meads majestic spread, till gathering force they more and more expand, and with new virtue fertilize the land. Johnson's language, however, must be allowed to be too masculine for the delicate gentleness of female writing. His ladies, therefore, seem strangely formal, even to ridicule, and are well denominated by the names which he has given them as Misella, Zozima, Properantia, Rhodiclia. It has of late been the fashion to compare the style of Addison and Johnson, and to depreciate, I think very unjustly, the style of Addison as nerveless and feeble, because it has not the strength and energy of that of Johnson. Their prose may be balanced like the poetry of Dryden and Pope. Both are excellent, though in different ways. Addison writes with the ease of a gentleman. His readers fancy that a wise and accomplished companion is talking to them, so that he insinuates his sentiments and tastes into their minds by an imperceptible influence. Johnson writes like a teacher. He dictates to his readers as if from an academical chair. They attend with awe and admiration, and his precepts are impressed upon them by his commanding eloquence. Addison's style, like a light wine, pleases everybody from the first. Johnson's, like a liquor of more body, seems too strong at first, but by degrees is highly relished, and such is the melody of his periods, so much do they captivate the ear and seize upon the attention, that there is scarcely any writer, however inconsiderable, who does not aim in some degree at the same species of excellence. But let us not ungratefully undervalue that beautiful style which has pleasingly conveyed to us much instruction and entertainment. Though comparatively weak, opposed to Johnson's Herculean vigour, let us not call it positively feeble. Let us remember the character of his style as given by Johnson himself. What he attempted he performed. He is never feeble, and he did not wish to be energetic. He is never rapid, and he never stagnates. His sentences have neither studied amplitude nor affected brevity. His periods, though not diligently rounded, are voluble and easy. Whoever wishes to attain an English style, familiar but not coarse, and elegant but not ostentatious, must give his days and nights to the volumes of Addison. Though the Rambler was not concluded till the year 1752, I shall under this year say all that I have to observe upon it. Some of the translations of the mottos by himself are admirably done. He acknowledges to have received elegant translations of many of them from Mr. James Elphinston, and some are very happily translated by a Mr. F. Lewis, of whom I never heard more, except that Johnson thus described him to Mr. Malone: "Sir, he lived in London, and hung loose upon society." The concluding paper of his Rambler is at once dignified and pathetic. I cannot, however, but wish that he had not ended it with an unnecessary Greek verse, translated also into an English couplet.